Hey everybody, welcome back. This is What's the Point, where I talk about fencing, fighting, and all things swords and swashbuckling related, from medieval to modern fencing. This next video is suggested by an idea from one of my viewers, so I hope this helps. Now for What's the Point. Okay everybody, this video was suggested or requested or inspired by a comment by one of the viewers, Scarlet Rose Lyoshka. I have probably butchered that. I do apologize. You did not leave what kingdom you're from, by the way, in the comments. So if you're commenting about this and you know what organization or kingdom you're from, leave it in there, because I can look up rules for you better or situations if I know where you're actually located. The comment was questioning about upper body strength, about grip strength and upper body strength for while you're fencing, because you're holding a sword, you kind of need that. And I think this was a very good question, not so much because of the question itself, but because of a lot of the times I've seen the answers to this being very bad. Oh, just practice more. Practice what? That's a horrible piece of advice. And I've seen a lot of people give advice similar to that. And that's not really a great way to do things. The thing is, a lot of times exercises are aimed for your lower body, because everybody knows if you pull a muscle, stretching your legs is going to help prevent that. And most people think of leg injuries. You're probably not going to hurt yourself too much, but why risk it? By the way, a lot of the next videos that are going on are going to be done sitting down in my cluttered studio background, and I'm going to do a little less tromping around outside. Speaking of arm strength and stuff, that's what a torn bicep tendon looks like. Surgery on Monday. So, some of the stuff I'm going to be telling you right now may be part of my PT later. The idea of this, though, is to get more hand strength, more arm strength, more upper body strength in order to perform what you're doing. First thing is, realistically, don't push yourself. Don't push yourself so hard. It's easy to overdo. And as a new fencer, you're going to be very excited. Oh, I'm going to get to play with a sword. I'm going to get to play with a sword. But you're going to overdo it, and you're going to go home and you're going to be sore. You're going to be tired. And the next practice comes up, you're going to be like, no, I'm kind of good. I'll go next week. And that go next week thing is bad. Don't do that. I'd rather you fence or practice or exercise for an hour and come home from practice go, man, I want to keep going, than practice for 2 hours and have to take an ibuprofen and a hot shower and go, man, okay, next week I'll go. I'd rather you shorten it and have more fun and want to do more than do everything you want to do that day and then miss your next practice. Not cool. Your hand strength is pretty important. Your flexibility is pretty important. One of the first things most people think of is those exercise balls, which is kind of good. But instead of the ball, if you have one, use it. Do it. But if you can find one of those squeezy things that's like the full length of your hand, that's probably a better choice, because your little fingers and stuff, when you hold the ball, it's like, and that's where your exercise is. Odds are your sword's not shaped like this. Pretty much nothing but that ball is shaped like that. And that's where you're exercising your muscles to get maximum grip here. And unless you want to be like one of those lion foot things for a desk, that's not going to do you any good. Having, again, if you have one, use it. But having the long brick-shaped ones will let your little fingers get a little more involved in that exercise. Next one would be, and these are all very well documented, you can look these up, I'm just going to give you a little twists on them, is get a broomstick, a bar of some sort, made out of wood preferably, tie a rope to it and put a weight at the end of it, not a heavy weight, and sit there at full arm extension and roll the rope up. When the weight gets to your stick, stop and roll it back down. Keep going till it rolls back up again. Then, go get yourself some dish towels. Wrap them around the handle to make the handle fatter. And do it again. And you could stagger these out from one day to the next. Just go, today I'm going to do this size grip or this size grip. Do it till it's as big as you can handle. So you're, bare paw the muscles. The idea being is that your grip, you don't want your grip to be trained to one position. This will help stretch out your muscles and keep things more aligned. Not aligned, but more flexible. Next, when you do your footwork, and you should be doing your footwork. Footwork is important. When you're doing your footwork, and I'll do a video about that later, always have your sword in your hand. If you don't have a sword yet, don't worry about it. Get a milk jug. Put some water in it. Not a lot. Stand on guard, on guard, with your arm where it belongs. If you want to be really tricky about it, get the milk jug, put a handle on it with a string, and hang the milk jug. Put the milk jug on the ground, shorten the string to below your on guard height, and then pick it up off the ground to your on guard height. Then do your footwork. You shouldn't be doing footwork fast, so it shouldn't be a pendulum. But if that milk jug starts skipping the ground, your arm is drooping. Get back up there. If you are practicing with your sword, if you do have a sword, the trick here, torn bicep muscle, ow. Gonna do this left-handed. As you're doing your footwork drills, don't add weight to your sword. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. A lot of people try to add weight here. What ends up happening is it breaks the fulcrum here. You're training your hand bad habits. Not good. If you want to add weight, add a wrist weight to your hand to increase this. Don't mess with your grip. If you are practicing at a practice where, say, the practice is in a tight space, you don't have a lot of room, you're facing a wall that you can't sit there and do point control work, point, stabbing the wall, something like that, or your instructor is walking past you very closely because of space, or you're doing footwork drills where you have a partner who is facing you and you're not wearing armor, hold your sword like that. Just put the blade in your hand and hold it out there. You're still holding the weight. You're holding the weight of your weapon so you can concentrate on what you're doing, but you're not threatening your opponent. You're not threatening to damage the wall at the gym. You're not creating a dangerous situation with the people around you. Worrying about your hand strength with your weapon while doing the footwork is not your first concern. Your concern is your footwork. But this will give you your strength training for your arm and your shoulder and stuff like that. Okay, glitch. So, in conclusion, things to remember. 1, always warm up. Include your upper body in your warm-up. Do your stretches. I will probably do a stretching video separate from this so it can be a little more in-depth. But anything you're doing, yoga or other athletic stretches, include your upper body every time. Also, when you're done with your practice, within the next 20 minutes after your practice, stop what you're doing and do a cool down stretch again. This is something I learned in high school, and it has made all the difference in the world from when I started this to when I learned, no, really, take that moment to cool down. It's absolutely worth it. But stretching will be another video. Also, remember, don't let adrenaline dictate your practice. Yes, we love playing with swords. It's awesome. It's fun. It's great. It's fantastic. You want to play with them again tomorrow, right? Or next week when your next practice is, right? Not if you're hurting. So, shorter practices more often, still better than one killer practice and then 2 weeks off. Doesn't help you. But definitely, make sure you're enjoying yourself. Take it easy. Don't overdo it. It's really easy to do because this is a fun game. This is a fun sport. I'm telling you to do things that or not to do things that I did when I was learning. So, that's about it. If you have any other questions, please feel free and leave them in the comments. When you do, tell me where you're from so I can help you out better. And if you like any of this, let me know, because this is really keeping me sane during this pandemic thing. We're coming through it, but still not done with it. So, and now for the picture of Runsky. I know that's why everyone watches. Have a great day. Enjoy.